Hi there. So I just watched a YouTube video and kind of felt like perhaps making a video because it's been a while. Always makes me feel a bit nervous at the start because it's been a while, because there are big gaps between videos. Um, but yes, so I felt like making a video. Um, It's a very interesting video actually. It was about that old star Dax Flame, and I found it quite interesting. Um, because Dax Flame almost looked like he was on the verge of tears in this video. It was it was an interview actually that someone was doing, and he was on the verge. It looked to me like he was about to sort of cry, and I think it probably was linked to his financial problems he was mentioning in the video, and it's very different sort of style. I mean, someone who suffers with anxiety myself, I think that was something that I could see in that video, because he was doing a lot of this shaking, which is a sign of anxiety. So I found that quite interesting. Perhaps I'll go back later on and watch a few more of that particular guy. Yes, because I think his name is Loft, and the only way I can remember that is because Dax Flame said in the video that the guy's YouTube channel sounds a bit like the word loft. So that tells you what video it was. But this is just a video really of me rambling. But it's a nice sort of video. It's just me just sort of talking here, which is a thing I don't do very often. I'm in my dressing gown because it's cold. It's been very cold here, really cold. I mean, I'm fed up of cold. It's just cold all the time, and you have to I'm not one of these people who just turns the heating on, because heating costs money. Water costs money. I'm very sort of tight with these things, because when Les is away, as he is at the moment, my partner is away, I tend to just keep the house. I tend to only stay really in one room, and my bedroom, but I really tend to stay in one room. So all the rest of the house is just cold, you see, and there's no point heating up no space at all. So I either use the heater or dress more warmly, but it's still impossible to keep warm. I actually bought this book, by the way, because I just saw it here. It's one of my Christmas presents to my partner. It's called Understanding Anxiety. And I got it for him because, there are times when I think he gets very frustrated. And that's because he doesn't really quite understand anxiety. But I got it for him. It's very dusty, because he hasn't read it yet. Naughty man. But, yeah, I also got him this pen, because it's very difficult to buy for my partner, because he's a bit like me. If I want something, I'll just buy it, and if I can't afford it, I can't have it. But I tend to just buy things as they come. But I want him this nice pen, because he always likes sort of things like that. Yes, and that lovely piece of jewellery I bought him, which is lovely. But yes, also in my life, or previous to my life, as it says in Miranda. Yes. Also, I've been watching. I was watching this documentary actually. It was on Sunday, and it's about the Tudors, and I found it really interesting, and it had the guy from EastEnders in it, Bradley, Charlie Clements, I think his name is, and that got me really interested in the Tudors, because it was a really good documentary, because it really went deep into all that sort of history, and that promoted me to go and then watch the TV series of Tudors about 10 years late or whatever, but yes, it's very interesting. I mean, I don't know how much I can really say on this video, but it's just like the fathers treat their daughters like whores. It's like that Thomas Boleyn, right? He basically gives his first daughter away, Mary Boleyn, and it's just sex, and then he gives Anne away. He says, well, Mary's not done a very good job there, because Henry's, I want to say Trevor, Henry has stopped inviting her to a bedchamber. So he sent in Anne. It's just like daughters are just whores to just go to the king. But it is a good series. I do enjoy watching it. I don't know how much more I can watch of it though, because my partner's coming back tonight, so that means that there's that he doesn't really want to watch it, so I have to find time myself. But it is a good series, and it's interesting. I mean, you've got the sexy Jonathan Rhys-Meyers there playing the main role. And then you've got Henry Cavill, I think his name is, who plays Brandon. And Brandon's an interesting character, really, because he had the job of taking Henry's sister to this place, and you know, it was almost inevitable that they were going to eventually fuck, because you know he's Brandon, you know, and she catches a glimpse of him through this crack in the ship there, and so she has attraction to him. Yes, the episode I watched last night was rather interesting because it was about Henry's sister going on this boat trip and meeting her husband, who she's been betrothed to, and her husband's an old man who has got dirty feet. I noticed that he had very dirty feet. When he dies, you see these black feet, thinking, ugh, dirty feet. Although my feet are totally horrible. I think possibly my feet are the worst feature of me. But then the human body is so frustrating in that way, because you know, if you don't moisturise yourself, you end up being like a prune and just totally drying up, which is a horrible way to be. Because my shoulders, arms, elbows, my elbows, yeah, are quite crusty sometimes because they just dry up. And who has the time to just put moisturiser on your elbows and just sit like that? But anyway, back to the point. So this old man, she goes and visits, and you know, they get married, and it almost is like a view of homosexuality, you know, because this is a very controversial and thing that people don't really like to hear. But there are some old elderly gay men who inappropriately contact people who are young, and I think that this is wrong. And because I think you should know your limits. I mean, if you are someone like 60, you shouldn't contact someone who's like 26. You know, well, not 26, I would have been something like 20 in those days, but you know, before I was dating. But yeah, I mean, I was quite lucky really. I only had 2 boyfriends. I had one ex, and I had my current partner now. So I found love pretty quickly, which is really quite magical. She was young, and as Brandon says, they're young and flesh and full of passion, and that's what. And then there was this old guy who wanted to have sex with her and consummate the marriage, because that was one thing I didn't realise, that you know, in Tudor times, consummation of marriage was rather important. So there were people all around the bed watching you with the curtains drawn and making sure that the marriage had been consummated. And I also didn't realise that there were so many deaths, you know, in Tudor times, because, like with Catherine of Aragon, she lost like 5 children just by stillborns or other ways of death. That was rather fascinating because I didn't realise that. I mean, getting through all those and then finally getting to Mary, I think, when she was born, makes you wonder whether anyone survived. You know, it's just crazy. But there were different times, so yeah. And I'm only on series 1, episode 5 at the moment, so it's a long way to go. I do like Sam Neill in it, actually, because obviously, I mean, I only know Sam Neill from Jurassic Park, and so I'd never seen him in anything else, which is rather interesting because you see him in a different role. And he plays Cardinal Wolsey. Yeah, Sam Neill has lots of quotes that are really good in this. I mean, in episode 1, I think he says something like, and there you shall give birth to your bastard, you know. And there's another one where he says, oh, don't be that, be a pigeon so you can shit on everyone. So he has a lot of memorable quotes in the series, and yeah, I'm sure there'll be lots more memorable ones to come. So there we go, there's a video there, basically what I'm doing in life. My eyes are terrible, you know. I mean, I'm looking at myself in this camera and I look very blurry. My eyes are very terrible. I'm 26 years old, you know, I shouldn't have eyes this bad or ears that bad, you know. I'm hoping to get a week off in February to actually sort my eyes out and horrifyingly get some glasses. I mean, my face is ugly as sin at the moment, so put glasses on top, and what have you got? Total horrible agony. I did actually wear glasses. It's quite fascinating, really, because I used to wear glasses a long time ago, and I wore glasses for a long period before. But then I think they broke, and I didn't want to pay the money to replace the glasses, and so I ended up just not wearing them. I think back then, when I was youthful and young, the glasses were okay because I didn't look so ugly. But now I'm old and my face is beginning to look horrible. Ooh. I think yeah. Annabelle, Annabelle, yes, little princess. Yeah, you see here, you can see quite clearly, the decay of my face. It's all saggy looking. Oh. Anyway, I did actually forget to talk about this problem I'm having at the moment, which is artist's block. And I've said a prayer, being Christian of course, for God to give me some ideas and help me out of that. But yeah, I have a terrible artist block. I don't know what to draw. And I need to because it keeps me going, keeps me, give me things to do. But I hate it because I don't want to think this is the end, of my artist career because I can't think of anything to do to draw. Anyway, bye bye.